Gillian Lauren was a young, aspiring actor when she was recruited to work as an entertainer for the Sultan of Brunei. It would take the teenager inside a secret world of sex, money and power. Now Gillian is lifting the lid on the Playboy Sultan. His Majesty Hassan al-Bolkiah is the absolute ruler of Brunei. He's also one of the richest men on the planet. But while he and the royal family live the high life, he's imposing strict Islamic laws in his tiny Southeast Asian nation. Sharia law has been declared in Brunei, with brutal punishments to match. And Western journalists certainly aren't welcome. We've now got two policemen on motorbikes behind us, so just keep the camera low. Brunei is not a free country. Let's see which way they go if they follow us here. Yeah, just put it down a little bit, oh no. That's it. They're both just checking us out. It's one of the richest nations in the world. And on the surface, it looks like paradise. But this tiny speck on the coast of Borneo is beautiful one day.
Just chop it like that.
Yeah. Barbaric the next. What is the punishment for theft?
Theft, the hand should be cut off from here, from the elbow.
And what if someone commits adultery?
Whether he's a man or woman, he will be stoned to death.
Stoned to death for adultery. Amputations for theft. Public floggings. These will be the horrific punishments under the new Sharia law imposed by the all-powerful Sultan of Brunei, Hassan al-Bolkiah.
Dan tidak adil, tetapi Allah sendiri telah menegaskan undang-undangnya. Itu adil.
So how many crimes under Sharia law did you and the Sultan commit that night?
Well, I'm not an expert on Sharia law, but I can say that we committed adultery.
For more than 6 months, we've been seeking permission to visit Brunei to talk to the Sultan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brunei Darussalam, where the local time is...
But it seems that 60 Minutes is distinctly unwelcome in Brunei. So I'm entering this devoutly Muslim country as a tourist. And all our filming must be done in secret. Vast reserves of oil have delivered a comfortable life to most of its people. Especially the royal family and the Sultan, with his own $20 billion fortune. While the people on the street are liable to the cruelest punishments imaginable, behind these gates, it's a completely different story. In his 1800-room palace, the Sultan and his brother Prince Jeffrey live a life that can only be described as hedonistic. Their wild parties are the stuff of legend, free-flowing booze, while hundreds of women are flown in from all over the world to cater to their every whim. How many times did you have sex with the prince?
Hundreds? Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
As an 18-year-old, Gillian Lauren was a wild child looking for adventure. She would spend a year in the royal harem.
I was trying to be an actress in New York, and a friend of mine told me that there was this casting call that was supposedly to go and entertain rich businessmen, singing, dancing, that sort of thing.
Did you have any idea that it would involve sex?
Well, I knew I was not being hired as a diplomat.
Gillian Lauren was actually recruited to Brunei by the Sultan's younger brother, Prince Jeffrey, whose habits and tastes aren't exactly devoutly Islamic. Prince Jeffrey owned an enormous yacht he called tits, with 2 runabouts, nipple 1 and nipple 2. He famously had nude statues made of himself and a former wife having sex, and he had a palace set aside just for his harem.
The palace was like something out of Aladdin. You know, it was golden domes and glittering swimming pools and gold in the carpets and in the bathroom fixtures and incredible art, you know, Degas sculptures and Picasso paintings.
How many girls were there?
About 30, give or take, at any given time from all over the world.
How old do you think some of them were?
15?
The young American was given gifts of cash, jewellery and clothes worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So when she finally caught the prince's eye, she wasn't exactly surprised by what came next.
He took my hand and he led me into a bedroom that looked like, you know, something out of Hugh Hefner's wildest dreams. It was like fur and mirrors and video cameras and...
So by this point, it's very clear what's about to happen.
Yes, and I wouldn't even have thought of saying no. I'm just an 18-year-old girl from New York. You know, I haven't seen anything in my life. And this is the prince. This is one of the wealthiest men in the world.
A few years ago, Prince Geoffrey fled Brunei with $14 billion stolen from the National Treasury and partied his way around the world. Much like the Sultan's own son, Prince Azim, who loves playing dress-ups and entertaining celebrities in Hollywood, many of whom are paid handsomely to attend.
Most of the people here, we don't really mind about it.
Not that you'll hear any complaints about royal extravagance or hypocrisy on the streets of Brunei. So the Sultan looks after his people?
Very well, yes. He's a very, very generous Sultan.
We've disguised the identity of some local Bruneians for their own safety.
It's a parliament building.
Because the Sultan can be dangerously unpredictable, even towards those who enthusiastically accept his commands and the new brutal regime of Sharia law.
Supreme Court?
But what if your daughter was to grow up and have an affair?
Nah.
Should she die for that?
Yeah, she'll die for that.
Is that okay?
Well, punishment is punishment. And punishment has been written in the Holy Quran. So we have to follow that.
While Sharia law and its criminal code has traditionally been concentrated in the Middle East and parts of Africa, it's now gaining ground in our region. Not just Brunei, but also parts of Malaysia and Indonesia. Countries which have previously rejected Sharia's harsh edicts for a more moderate, tolerant form of Islam. Do you accept that these punishments are quite barbaric?
From Western perspective, maybe, but not from our perspective. Because this is part of our religion. During 1993, when we
Muhammad Amar is the Deputy Chief Minister of Kelantan in neighbouring Malaysia. He wants to follow Brunei's lead by introducing his own drastic punishments, like cutting off the hands of thieves.
They just chop it like that.
And stoning for adulterers. The condemned buried up to their neck for execution. How long does death normally take?
I do not know, I don't know. I never asked on that.
Are you willing to cast the first stone?
If I have to throw, I have to throw. But we have certain people to do that, of course.
Someone else does your dirty work?
Even the time of the Prophet